All right, so last week was kind of the calm before the storm. This week, we are in full back-to-school prep mode. Fall is an incredibly busy time for us because we have 4 birthdays, all in between every major holiday. So right now with back-to-school, and then my oldest 18th birthday, and then my youngest turns 3, and then my son turns 15, and then my second youngest, Frankie, she turns 6, and then we have, like I said, back to school, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. My niece's birthday is in there as well. It is an insane time of year for us. So this week we're in full back to school prep mode. We're also coming to the end of our season for the Go With The Heat podcast. So we only had 8 movies in this season, plus a couple extra episodes. So I think this is movie number 6, maybe number 5. Anyways, we're coming up on the end. It's episode number 169 of our podcast that we started in May of 2016. I think it was. So it's been more. We've been doing it for more than 5 years. Obviously, the episode counts don't add up for the number of years that we've been doing it, because we've taken some breaks here and there. Now that we do movies, we do like the season format. So we do like 8 or 10 movies. Then we take an extended break. We were very, very close to not coming back for this last season because a whole bunch of reasons. The biggest reason, which is what's happening right now, and that we knew what was going to happen, is that we are incredibly busy. 4 kids, pandemic. My brother, who's on the show with us, has started his own company. I obviously work. We have a lot of stuff going on. It is a very busy, busy life for us right now. When we had started it, we had a little bit of extra time, so it was fun to do it. But now I'm also making a lot of other content, making these videos. I'm doing marketing full-time. At the time, I wasn't doing marketing like full-time. I was working in e-commerce, so I wasn't doing exclusively marketing. So I had an itch that needed to be scratched. So I was looking to make content. Now, I'll defend doing it all day, every day. Single-handedly, the best thing that has happened to my career has been making a podcast and consistently putting out a lot of good, high-quality podcast episodes for one podcast. I've dabbled in doing video game streaming, and then I made video game Let's Plays. I used to do like a solo mic podcast about tech. I've done some like tech review videos. I've dabbled in a whole bunch of other types of content. And I've really done that mostly because of the mindset of see one, do one, teach one. So when I saw someone else doing it, I was like, I'm just going to start doing it. And then I'll be able to learn on what that is. That's really helped out my marketing career. But the podcast thing started as I want to make content. I didn't know how to get started. We started doing the podcast. It was easier to produce audio than it was to do video full time. So in the years that I've been doing it, it has opened a ton of doors. I have met so many people. I've had introductions to other people. It helped me land my current job because they're able to see the content that I'm able to produce. It comes up all the time with people that I talk to and people that I know, that they know that I do this podcast and they know that I've been doing it for a long time. And so that's why I'm such a huge fan of that see one, do one, teach one mindset. Because when you just start doing it, so many other opportunities start to open up for you. And I know that personal brand can be kind of uncomfortable for a lot of people. And there are people that take personal brand stuff too far. I mean, for the people who follow very closely to other creators like Gary Vee, and then they try to do like hustle lifestyle, your personal brand ends up becoming just your personality. And I understand that can be dangerous for some people because then they start to feel disconnected and they've changed themselves personally to match their personal brand. I totally get that. But if your personal brand is just to be you, just to make a podcast about a cheesy 80s TV show and then make it about bad action movies. If it's to do weekly vlogs about your boring life and not setting a budget to it and going on big travels and trying to fake like you're someone else, just being like, here I am in my office, let's go pick some zucchini, then your personal brand is you. Instead of you becoming your personal brand is a representation of you. And that's why I push so many people to use channels they have available to them to develop something, to get their personality out there. Because when I've done it, it has opened a ton of opportunities to be able to connect with other people, opportunities to be able to get an interview or have a conversation, or even to make it to the final round of a hiring process. So I'm thinking a lot about the podcast and how much time we have, what it's meant to me in the past, where I am, where I'm going, if that fits in there. Do we have time to keep doing it? Because it's a collective effort to be able to make it so do all three of us have the time. Now that we're coming up on the end of the season, I'm thinking a lot about it. We're recording K9 tonight, Jim Belushi and the dog Jerry Lee, because our theme is unlikely duos. So the movie's a lot of fun. I've seen it a bunch. Everyone's dad, they have, I guess, a type of movie that they like to watch. And some dads are Arnold Schwarzenegger fans, and some dads are Sylvester Stallone guys. Our dad was a Jim Belushi guy, so I've seen like every Jim Belushi movie that's ever been made. I've seen K9 no less than 20 times. So I was actually kind of happy to do it this way instead of pretending like I like it, using it as an opportunity to have some fun with K9 instead of just suffering through it. So this one's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do our recording. It's been delayed by a few weeks because we've just been so busy, and that's why I've been thinking about it. What do we have time for? How much of an investment is it? Does that help me get to where I want to go? Do we feel like we've made something good? That do we need to keep going because we have something else to prove? Or, you know what? This is kind of a natural stopping point. So, I'm going to record tonight. We have a couple more movies, including Money Train, another Jim Belushi movie. I actually talk about one where I think he's good in it. And then one other movie that I'm drawing a total blank on right now. Wrap up the season, take the rest of the year off, and then see where we are. Because I think we get stuck in this trap that every winter we're like, yeah, we should go for it. We get in the summer, like, we do not have time for this. So, we'll see. We'll see. I love doing it, but I don't think we have time to do it well anymore. Time to maybe look at doing something different. For a long time, I was a hardcore Linux gamer. What I mean by Linux gamer and being hardcore meant that I refused to play games on other platforms because Linux was my operating system of choice, and that's where I was going to play video games. And I ran into a lot of problems not because games don't work on Linux. That's 100% false. There's a ton of great games that you can play on Linux that are native to Linux or that you can get working through Proton. That's going to keep getting better because of the Steam Deck. Where my biggest problems come in is that I am not a PC gamer. It had nothing to do with Linux. It had everything to do with being a PC gamer. So it's just, I don't keep up with that. And I also don't keep up with the necessary software updates that means to be at peak gaming PC. And I just had to admit that what I really want is I just want to turn something on and I want to play games. I don't want to mess with updates. I don't want to mess with driver management. I don't want to mess with doing special configurations. Those are absolutely all have a place for someone out there who loves to maximize resolution and frame rate and just how well the game plays. For me, because of working and kids, I just want to be able to turn on something and start playing games. And that's why I got an Xbox. In fact, I got an Xbox with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And that has been the best because now do I not even have to think about managing my PC for gaming while also trying to make sure that I can do all this other stuff too, all the other things that I like to do. I have dedicated gaming hardware. It just does it. And then Game Pass made that even better because now there's just this Netflix of games. I don't have to think about what game I want to buy or keep a pulse on what games are popular, what new releases are, what everyone's playing right now. I just go into my Netflix library of Game Pass, scroll through, find a game, start playing. It keeps getting better every month too, because they get things like the EA Play or whatever they call it, EA Access, whatever the fuck they call it. It's now part of Game Pass too, so get all these sports games. And then now there's like new games that are coming. All the Microsoft first-party games are going to come to Game Pass. And I don't think about it. I just turn it on and I play. But it's a challenge because I got 2 little kids and I have to play in the living room on the TV. And it works great when I can do that. There's a lot of games. Can't play around them. And so I've been testing xCloud. And I know there's lots of people who are really into games and they can test it. And they can vouch for it. They'll have a much better review than I will. My take on this is from someone who doesn't want to think about what it takes to set up a gaming PC or even a console. I just want to turn on and play. For a busy person working a 50-hour-a-week job, raising 4 kids, married, taking care of a house, all kinds of other stuff happening in life, I just want to turn something on and play games. xCloud is where it's at. Because there's a lot of games that I can play on my Xbox, and then the cloud saves mean that I can play it on xCloud too. It also works in the browser. So that means whatever computer that I'm using, it just works. I just play. I'm even using a 360 controller with the wireless adapter plugged into my Linux computer using Vivaldi as the browser, and it just works. It's just doing its thing. I fire it up. I play. After I'm done playing, I quit. I close the browser. I don't have to do anything. No updates, no hardware management, no hardware upgrades. I just play. And it's been really, really helpful for me because I can't play on the main screen, or I'm trying to squeeze in like 15 minutes here, 20 minutes over there. Maybe it's in the morning before work and I'm sitting in my office and I'm like, I want to play for a half hour before I really get into work. I just open up a browser tab and I go to xbox.com/play, and then I can pick whatever game I want to, and it just fires up. Same thing with playing it on my phone. I have a controller adapter that goes around it and then holds my phone on there, and I open up the Xbox app, I pick a game, I start playing. That's it. I talked about my Wi-Fi on my network, so I've increased that. We pay for the unlimited data, so I'm not worried about that either. Just turn it on and play. It's seriously the best for someone who doesn't care about frame rates or resolution. Like, as long as it looks good, I'm not even measuring what it looks like. As long as it looks good and it starts fast and I can play when I want to and I have to wait. I'm like, I can't wait to play this game. Like the MLB The Show took a while for it to download. Then I went to go play and the console was like, before you can play, you have to do an update. And then after the update was done, it came back and said, you have a controller update that you haven't done before. xCloud just means I just turn on and I just play. I pick a game and I play for 20 minutes and then I get off. A couple nights ago, my wife was watching TV, watching a show on the TV. I got out my laptop, that laptop that I fixed up that's from 2011. I just opened up a browser tab. I hardwired in my Xbox One controller because I didn't want to deal with the Bluetooth syncing. I just did a micro USB cable into the laptop and I actually played for like an hour and a half because she was watching TV. And I listened to podcasts and played my video game. So, I can't wait for expansion of that. There's already talks about if you have an Xbox One, but you want to play X or S games, that streaming is going to be available. Like things like Flight Simulator, that's where it's going to be. Maybe it'll come to the Android TV boxes. I'm in. I'm actually thinking about buying a dedicated phone with a Razer Nishi or that type of device where it turns it into basically like a Switch device. But I would only play streaming content. And you could do the in-home streaming from your Xbox too. So I'm super bullish on this game streaming if you have the network connectivity to be able to do it. Because now I don't have to think about hardware. I don't think about hardware for a single second. I just pick a game and I play.
So I'm also I'm also not a very good gamer. I am in fact a 100% casual gamer. There's nothing I'm gonna get good at. I like to have fun playing games, and so I will not apologize. I will unapologetically say that I play games on easy mode because I just want to have fun and I want to zone out and play and have fun and maybe have some fun with other people in my house. So I love co-op games, um, couch co-op games. I don't do online games because I don't have a lot of people that I'm friends with that I can play online. I'm not going to play with strangers because, like I said, I'm not very good. So anyone that I play with that are just randos on the internet, they get very frustrated with me really fast because in a lot of cases I don't know what I'm doing or I'm gonna die really fast. Especially anything that I need a squad for. I don't have a squad, so I just get chopped into a random squad, and then I'm gonna be the first one to get booted because uh, me no good. So I'm also about to get run over right now. Come on. I'm no good at driving this thing. There's so many missions where that's the whole thing, is that you have to drive this Batmobile. I really like the old games where you just kind of fly around the city, and actually it ends up hurting me a lot in this game because I just want to fly around the city, and you need to do a lot of the missions in the Batmobile. So, anyways, it's really hard to read the captions and drive fast and shoot. That combination becomes difficult. Especially when the directions are trying to tell you, like in the walkthrough, they're trying to tell you how to play the game and read captions. And then on top of it, there's all these captions that are happening right now at the bottom of the screen, which are just people on the street. And so I keep looking to see if it's something important that I should be reading, but they're not. It's not. It's just like the thugs on the street saying, "We need to get out of the way." Oh, you faked me out. Oh, come on now. Went down and then back up.
For the last couple of months, I've been trying to walk 20 minutes a day, and then I do my hard workouts 3 times a week. So that means that what I'm really trying to get is I'm trying to get over 200 minutes a week in fitness activity. Of course, the week that stuff starts to matter way more after blood tests about cholesterol and high blood pressure and stuff, I've been slacking. So I've been not getting it done in the morning. I need to do it in the afternoon. So I'm out. I'm walking the neighborhood. I'm gonna get my 20 minutes in at least, maybe longer. Let's go for a walk.
One of the things that we know all too well is the idea of sunk costs. This is the idea that you spent a lot of time working on something. It cost a lot of money to be able to get to where you are. So you might as well just keep doing what it is that you're doing. If it took you a long time to code a project, you might as well keep maintaining it because of the sunk costs that you already put into it. There's also the sunk cost, which is I've been working on these videos. We've already put a lot of time into it. They're getting late. It keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed. But I've already put so much time, so much effort into it. We might as well see it all the way through. And I want to expand that a little bit and talk about sunk costs and strategy. And not necessarily sunk costs, but about working hard and the idea of doubling down on a strategy, thinking that just by working harder or longer or dedicating more staff, more hours, more commitment to a bad strategy is somehow going to make that bad strategy a good strategy. And this is a dangerous time in planning and executing. I don't like that. I don't like any of that. We're all aware of the idea of sunk costs. Something that you put a lot of time and effort and money into, so you just keep doing it because it's already cost so much. This is true with a lot of legacy software platforms that we use in our jobs, right? It was developed a long time ago. The code base is being maintained by a team of developers. Taking that out and putting in something different, the uphill battle that you fight, is the sunk cost. We've already put so much time and effort into making this custom solution. Why change it? It's going to cost too much money and take too much effort. And I want to expand that idea a little bit and talk about how sunk costs aren't just about money and time. See, I still don't like that because I don't like the segue that goes to. We're all aware of the idea of the sunk cost fallacy, which is something that you put a lot of time and effort. Your team, your company has put a lot of time and effort, maybe spent a lot of money in executing, building, developing, and being able to take it out and change it for something else is a serious uphill battle because there's so many people in the organization that say, we've already put a lot of time and effort and money into this. Instead of replacing it, let's just keep maintaining it. And I want to expand that idea a little bit because it's not just about the money and time. Because along with sunk costs comes this idea that if we just worked harder, if I increased the amount of time that I'm putting into it, if I just really bared down, we just all came together, gave up our lunches, worked overtime, came in on the weekends. If I brought in an extra person from a different team, this thing is just gonna work. And it has to, because we've already put all this time and energy and money into this. And I want to say that a bad strategy, no matter how much time and money, no matter how much work you put into it, no matter how much harder, no matter how hard you double down on that strategy, it's still a bad strategy. It's the end of the week, and I'm here in my office alone, my secret spot. And I know that the office can be a tricky place for a lot of people right now because they're working from home and then also trying to do fun stuff from home, and they just find themselves in their office all the time. I still find a lot of enjoyment having my own office and being able to be in here and be quiet and have my own little space, because for so long I didn't have my own space. We lived completely in our living room, including our bedroom, and everything was all just in the living room. So even though this is a small closet, I'm very happy to have my own place. And this has been a very busy week with lots of stuff going on. Next week is going to be even busier because school's going to start. It's turning into fall here in the Northwest. The days are getting shorter. I'm finding it harder to get sunlight to do these videos because I'm so busy during the day too. But the big thing that happened today was that we had our fantasy football draft. Now listen, I used to be ultra sports guy. I was sports pro. I was addicted to sports. Life revolved around sports. On Sundays, we only did things that make sure that I could be where football was at the same time. This is previous Dominic. And this is also why I think it's really important to understand that people change over time. And I'm almost 40, and I still hear from a lot of people who want me to be the same 20-year-old jock that they initially met or that they associate me with most But that was 2 decades ago. I'm not that guy anymore. I'm someone very, very different. Someone who is very out of touch with sports. Someone who abandoned sports a long time ago. I really don't watch anything except for my beloved Oakland A's, who hopefully will stay in Oakland. God damn it, because the city of Oakland deserves the Oakland A's, and the A's deserve the city of Oakland, so they should stay there. I'm also very hurt how they performed in the playoffs over the last nearly 3 decades. Or over 3 decades. So, I'm not really a sports guy. I used to be a football guy, but my son, my soon-to-be 15-year-old son, is super sports guy. And so I really, really do enjoy being sports with him. Sitting down on Sundays and watching Red Zone and just hanging out all day, talking about sports and the weird commercials that come on and stuff that we find on our phones and the funny clips that we see during the day. It's a lot of fun. And it's something for about 5 months we have a really strong connection on, even though I am very, very, very bad at fantasy football now. I used to be really good at it, but I don't know who anyone is. So I came in dead last in our fantasy league last year, and we changed the rules a little bit this year to make sure the draft isn't randomized, but to try and keep people interested in it. People who may not know that much about players anymore be able to get their hands on some good players. So I feel like a pretty good team. I guess what I'm feeling like is that I'm not going to come in dead last again. That I'm actually going to be able to compete in some games and not be in the toilet bowl in our league. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited that my son's not going to rip on me every Sunday because I'm just getting my ass handed to me every weekend. So the other thing is that I have a single goal, which is to make sure that my brother does not win in this league, who he has won it 2 years in a row. So I want to make sure that for sure he is not going to win this time. So I wanted to show you my team. I wanted you to see the players that I have. I want you to see the former sports guy who really hasn't paid attention to the NFL in 10 years, kind of reluctantly doing so. The NFL doesn't really deserve anyone's attention, and the organization as a whole is kind of a cesspool, in my opinion. But my son loves it. I love spending time with my son. That's what I got this week.